If you guys haven't heard yet, ChatGPT 4 released all of their plugins that allows you to basically download them into the interface itself and use them as parameters for whatever prompt you're developing. So to get these plugins installed onto ChatGPT, what you want to do is go to chat.openai.com and you're going to go to three dots in the bottom left-hand corner. You'll click on settings, and then you're going to go to beta features and you want to turn on web browsing and plugins. You'll need the subscription for this. So make sure you're signed up to pay that $20 a month to get these subscriptions. Make sure you go to ChatGPT 4 and select plugins and then go to a new chat. We're going to click the button right below the ChatGPT versions and you will go to the prompt perfect. If you don't see this, it's probably because you don't have any of the third-party apps installed. So you'll go down to the plugin store where you'll see this. And you'll have popular, so the most popular ones that people are using right now, any new ones that they have just released, and then all. So if you go to all, you can go through and find the prompt perfect generator or any of these other applications that you want to use. And then once you have them installed, you'll see them right here. So right where that plugin store is, everything above that. Just for starters, I'm going to select Prompt Perfect. You can select up to 3 at a time. So if you want web browsing enabled while you're searching Zillow and you want the perfect prompt, you can put all 3 of those applications in use to kind of set those parameters a little bit more specifically to whatever you're trying to get it to create for you. So for the perfect prompt, I'm going to type in create a prompt for first-time homebuyers that includes their frequently asked questions and answers to those frequently asked questions. So once we enter that, since we have prompt perfect selected, it's going to automatically know that it's creating a prompt. They're going to go through the entire list of frequently asked questions. And once it's done, we can get a little more specific. So I might even say, can you make this for residents in Boise, Idaho? Because we might have different tax incentives from the state or county tax incentives. Maybe they're buying in more rural areas, which definitely makes it available for lower interest rates and more incentives in purchasing in those communities that have less population density. So I'm going to ask it to rewrite this prompt for residents in Boise, Idaho, include any first-time home buyer incentives that the state offers. And we can dissect the questions that it asked and then the answers that it provided. Now, the best part about this is being able to use it in your website. When you build out your FAQ page, basically just those drop-down accordion style questions and answers, you'll be able to copy and paste these into that FAQ, and then Google will be able to crawl that web page and find that you have really good answers for common questions people ask in your city or state. I personally would set up my FAQ page with a form for them to fill out either at the bottom or at the top in case they have more questions. Because if your web page pops up for one of the questions, they go to it, they get an answer that they like, but they want more information. Well, now they're going to contact a real estate agent that is of easy access. And since they're on your website, they will most likely go to you. So make sure that you set your web page up to be very easy for them to put in their first, last name, email, and a phone number. And if you want to put a calendar on there for them to schedule a time for a phone call, that makes it even better. So now it has given us a bunch of FAQs, and I want to go a little bit more in depth about the first-time homebuyer incentives in Idaho. So the thing with using Prompt Perfect is that, yes, it's going to give you a great prompt for ChatGPT, but it's not connected to the internet because you can only use either the plugins or the web browsing features. I guess if the plugins have the web browsing features included in them, then you can use both, but Prompt Perfect doesn't. So what I'm going to do is just copy and paste this response into a new chat. I'm going to go to ChatGPT 4 and then browsing. So it's connected to the internet, and then I will paste the exact output that ChatGPT gave me from that last thread. And now you can see it is browsing the internet for specifically Idaho incentives for first-time home buyers. And it's going to give us an output that basically tells us what incentives there are for first-time home buyers to actually purchase their first home. Okay, so now that it's all finished up, we have 3 different categories of credits, right? So the Idaho Housing Home Loan is first. It goes in depth about that, the good credit rewards, and then we have the Idaho Housing Home Buyer Tax Credit. And we can always get more and more in depth with this and figure out what other incentives there are, because there's a lot more out there. But this is a great starting point. So use the prompt generator to create basically any prompt you want ChatGPT to answer for you. And then you're going to get a customized prompt that has a more narrowed focus for what you're looking for. I would definitely use this for any lead magnet or value add material that you're going to use to generate leads with. So whether it's a home buyer's guide or a relocation packet or a seller's guide. But other than that, play around with this and see how you can use it to start gathering more information about certain topics, adding value to clients' lives, and then generating more leads.